this is awesome because I don't have to do the intro.
Yeah, I hate doing the intro. That was the only thing. But we could start now. So this is the start of my solo career. Julie's going to burst in here at any second from the car dealership. She's been there for 3 days. But today we have Brooke from Roaring 20s podcast fame here to talk about season 6, episode 10, Winds of Winter. One of the best of the best.
The best of the best.
Truly.
Yeah.
I hear that you were between a bunch of episodes.
Well, first of all, I was between a bunch of shows. Like,
Yeah.
It was not even...
Story of my life.
Matt can tell you I was like, oh, I'm going to do a reality show. Like, I'm going to bust out a 90 Day Fiancé one, and we're going to talk about it. And then I was like, no, I want to do Parks and Rec because that's my favorite of all time. Mm-hmm. That's been done, and I can't go back and do that. Seinfeld, someone's stealing that today, I heard.
It's funny, though, because I wasn't always a host. So if you were to do Parks and Rec, I would be delighted because I wasn't a host.
You were on that one?
So like that, Gilmore Girls, like I'm upset.
You didn't tell me that, Matt.
I am upset that I wasn't on those episodes because I am like a Parks and Rec and Gilmore Girls huge fan.
I love Parks and Rec. But that I figured someone had already done Game of Thrones. And then Matt was like, oh, we had 2 people that were like going to do it and then they didn't. And I was like, oh, well, this makes things a lot easier. I was like, I'm going to do that. And then I didn't realize all the good episodes that there are. Mainly pre-season 7. So go figure that like the very last one before all the shit started was probably the best one in the whole series.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yep.
Honestly,
episode 10.
7 was good. I was into 7. So Jade, who did our Pen 15 episode, she said she was going to do a season 7 episode. So in my pure
which
panic,
one?
I can't remember, but I binged the whole season leading up to it because I was like, I need to be on my fucking game. And then at the last second, Matt's like, no worries, she's not doing Game of Thrones anymore. She's doing Pen 15. I was like, I watched the whole season.
You watched it? Had you not seen it before?
No, I've seen it a million times, but I was like, I don't feel like if I'm doing a Game of Thrones podcast, I've listened when Game of Thrones was live, I used to watch or listen to like 4 to 5 hours of podcasts on it a week. Like Game of Thrones and Westworld, I did that because I was like, I need to know every ounce, every theory of everything. So I was like, if I'm going to do one, I need to be like on the top of my game. And then he said this like midweek and I was like, fuck. And you chose episode 10. So I was like, I can't get through 10 episodes by Saturday morning. I just can't.
Yeah. So when it was on, I would dive into like the subreddits and like go deep in the fan theories. And they're really good. Like I still go there like all the time during the week to just see what people are like talking about and like what their theories are for like the books that'll never ever get finished. So, but yeah, I would spend hours in subreddits after the show. Didn't really do the podcast. I don't really know why. I don't have a good reason.
What, listening to the podcast?
Yeah.
I
have no good reason
stumbled into one and it was like Game of Thrones always fell in that like weird period of time, like summer time, where all the rest of my shows are on summer hiatus. So I'm like, I need something to do during the week where I'm just like diving in and thinking about it.
I mean, Game of Thrones I did.
I didn't listen to that one.
Well, I mean,
was it good?
That's what's his name from Queer Eye? Jonathan.
Really?
Yeah. And he's reviewing it. They're pretty good.
See, I don't know that I'm truly not smart enough to do a Game of Thrones like full pod. Like if someone were to be like, "Would you host that?" I'd be like, "No."
Yeah, there's no way in hell. No. Like I've read the books and clearly watched the show and everything, but like I could not. I had an Uber driver who had Game of Thrones stickers on her car, and I was like, "Oh, are you a fan?" And she went so deep into like Westerosi like history and lore and knowledge that I was like blown away. I was like, "I'm just trying to get to the airport at 3 a.m. and you are fucking blowing my mind right now."
Yeah, no, not smart enough for me.
Yeah, no, me either. It's fun to think maybe I could do it, but I know that I can't. I accept my limits in life. Okay,
so what other episodes were you between?
So, oh my gosh, let me go back and remember. I think it was season 1, episode 9, Baelor, because I feel like, spoiler alert, Ned getting got kind of kicks off the whole show, right?
Sure.
Like without that moment, I guess without John Aaron dying, we then wouldn't have Ned dying, but definitely without Ned dying, none of this would have happened.
I think that's what Khaleesi's walking out of the fire too, right? At the end of that
that's
episode.
when she gets the little babies.
I think the 9th episode of every season is known for being one of the best.
That was the pattern for so long. So I don't know if it was season 7 where like there wasn't an episode 9 or nothing happened in episode 9 and everyone was like, what the hell?
It was I think there was less episodes in season 7. There was only 6 in season 8.
Right.
But I think there was less than 7.
Yeah, so everyone was like, what's like there's no episode 9 and like so it's throwing off the whole pattern.
Yeah. I did love season 7 though, because when I re-binged it, I was like, damn, because 8, I mean, we don't even have to get into it if we want to.
Well, I mean, I ate it.
Yeah. I kind of got into it in the Lost episode. It's just that like people had so much time to theorize, and then when it kind of is like that's what you chose. It's like I think I read every theory in the book, and my biggest tryst with it or whatever was that they didn't do anything with Cersei. I'm like, she got paid millions of dollars to have like 10 lines of dialogue.
I mean, even if she had 5 lines, that's fine with me, but it should have been Jaime that took her out.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like Cersei's death has been theorized the whole series.
Yep.
Like people want her dead. That would have been the most amazing death of all time. And obviously she did die, but in Jaime's arms, like sweetly.
And then like, Tyrion gets to dig them up and they're still perfectly intact. So they're not like crushed or anything. And I'm just like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, I take it as it is. And I just like, as much as I was disappointed reading all of the cast members being upset about the reactions, made me go, you know what? I will take it as it is and I will enjoy it the next time I watch it, because literally everyone was so upset. Like Sophie Turner, like Kit Harington, they're all
Kit
like,
we
really
tried
so hard. We tried. I mean, like,
it's not their fault either, right? Like it's the
no.
writing.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones was built on this whole, anyone can die type of thing. And then they just give us the most fan service ending ever.
It's like, was it though? Because, I mean, they went through that whole White Walker shit and then ended it right away. And it was like, oh, that doesn't have any consequences? Okay, cool.
When you have so many storylines, they all have to end at some point, I guess.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should have had more people die during the Battle of Winterfell, right?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean,
it's
like,
the last season. Why did they
them?
basically all live?
Yeah.
Except for Jorah,
and
which,
Lyanna,
like, poor guy.
But fucking my heart and my soul, Lyanna Mormont, just got fucking...
Yeah, she didn't make it.
Rest in peace.
Poor girl.
R.I.P.
obviously. But yeah, and then it's just kind of, I don't know. I just feel like the Battle of Winterfell, most of the main players should have been taken out. We should have been left with like a few people to battle for King's Landing. I have always theorized that Dany was going to go mad at some point.
Sure.
And I think that's in George's plan for the books.
Yeah.
But the writing, like, you don't get to see her descent. You get a few little glimpses, like when she burns Sam's brother, Dickon, and his father.
Yeah.
So you get like a few little hints of it, but not like, I mean, the bitch just fucking loses it when she sees the Red Keep. And I'm just like, it's not.
Yeah, that was an insane. Like me, I watched that with a lot of people. We all were like watching in terror. We were like, "Are we sure?"
Yeah, there was like this huge jump, and I was like, I could have made that jump with you if you had just given me a bit more material.
Yeah, I agree
throughout like the last.
They should have spread it out. They shouldn't have done 6 episodes. They should have spread it out, given it the time it needed.
It really needed more episodes.
Yeah,
it really did.
Yeah. Damn, but I fucking love this show.
It is so good.
So let's get into its peak, because this is the best. This is my
best
favorite episode. It is.
So I feel like this episode has a little bit of everything. So you've got, I mean, crazy action. You've got deceit. You've got politics.
Oh, hell yeah.
You've got, the big reveals. You've got revenge. The only thing like you don't get is like titties, which is surprising.
No, you get a little bit of titties. So you get titties when the Grand Maester is like, get out of my room.
Oh, that's right.
So a little bit side titties
with Pycelle, right?
Yes. So we get a little bit.
I mean, for Game of Thrones standards, it's like they might as well have not been there. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Thanks for joining us,
Julie. We just went through all of like We didn't even get into the episode.
Yeah,
She's just getting into it.
Sorry about that.
And it's gonna be a good one.
It is good. So I actually watched it this morning.
Me too.
Because
you know,
talk. Procrastinator.
So we did have titties. That's where
we did have titties. So that's exciting. I must have been looking down, writing something during that time.
I always, when I watched this live first, I remember being like, this episode will never end, and it's the most amazing thing, because they could have ended on so many big moments.
Yes.
Like King of the North, I thought like, oh, it's done. It's like we get 3 more separate scenes after that.
There's a ton where it could have just like ended, and I would have been like okay with it.
Yeah,
right. So up until this point, I thought Hard Home was like the one episode where I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But then watching this one live, like I just remember like staring at the TV like, this is so badass. No, this is more badass.
I know.
So anyway, while I was watching it this morning, I realized it was like the longest intro we've ever had until I think maybe the last episode or something. But it just felt like we were everywhere, and it makes sense once you watch the episode because you kind of are everywhere. But you open in King's Landing. I thought it was kind of funny because the bells are ringing in the back, and I was kind of like, oh, it's a little reminiscent of like the shame walk, right? Yeah. And I was like, so for me, it's a little foreboding because Cersei is always up to something.
Oh my God. And let me just jump in here. This music is the best music.
Oh, it's so good.
All time. It's called Light of the Seven, and I listen to it all the time when I'm feeling very just like dramatic. It's me and my friends literally do the like ew, like stupid ass fucking thing because it's the best. It literally is the best. It sets like the tension so high. It's amazing.
So everyone's just getting ready. Like you said, the tension, like you just know shit is about to get real from the very start of this episode. You don't know what. Kind of assume that it's going to be Cersei's trial, but they start with Loras, who I forgot, and I wrote in here, I was like, oh my God, Loras, I forgot about him.
Sweet Loras.
And then they show a clip of Cersei, and I realized I think this is the first time that we kind of see like her sweet little Batman suit that she's in now, right?
Yeah.
And I've always loved it. I remember when she was in that, I was like, oh yes, we've got a dark queen on our hands, right?
Big time.
But anyway, they do Loras' trial, which is basically him just confessing to being gay, which like I guess is a bad thing.
He's born in the wrong time.
Yeah, he really was, and also on like the wrong, mythical
We'll take
plane.
Loras in 2020.
I totally would.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But he sells out, and then kind of
big time sell out.
Gets the gang tattoo to confirm that he sold out.
They used the biggest fucking knife to do that.
Did you see how intricate the tattoo is though? Like on his head?
That's insane.
For like this giant knife that they just carved in there, you get these little tiny clean straight lines. I'm actually kind of impressed with their, knife skills. Then like some weird shit starts happening. You've got like, so Pycelle gets summoned by like this weird little Arya type character. And then they go see Qyburn, blah, blah, blah. Pycelle's the first one to get got. So then we kind of roll into like shit starts happening now. God. Should I just like, I don't want to do like a whole recap of the show. Is this what I'm supposed to do?
Well, the intro deserves a little recap because it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and there could be people that don't watch the show that would listen to this, even though we're going to spoil the shit out of everything. So I don't know why they would, but that's okay.
So for me, the biggest tip off is like, so everyone's in the sept, blah, blah, blah. But Cersei's like pouring wine. And she's not letting Tommen go. Like, that should clue everyone in. Like, first of all, if you've watched the show this long, you know she's up to something, especially with Qyburn around. Mountain doesn't let Tommen go. And then finally, Marjorie, it kind of clicks. Like, I always thought she was so smart, but she ain't that smart.
No. Honestly, she played the game the best. That death was devastating to me because she knew how to play the game. She was the best. She played Joffrey like a fucking fiddle.
Yeah,
truly.
Yeah.
Joffrey wasn't too smart.
No, but nobody could control. Like Sansa, like Joffrey played into Sansa just being like petrified of him, and just like berated her. But Marjorie knew how to. Nobody can control. Not even Cersei.
She wanted to be queen, right? So it was all about the game.
She's just like Lady Olenna. It's like in the blood, baby. Yeah. Oh God, so good.
Anyway, so she finally catches on. We need to leave. Something's about to happen. Well, it's a little too late because boom goes the dynamite. Yeah. The sept is blown up, and Cersei's in the Red Keep playing Lizzo, drinking some wine, and that's the end of that. My favorite part of like this opening sequence in King's Landing, though, is like when Tommen realizes what's happening, and I don't know why they were like, just sit in front of this giant open window and look like your wife that you love is dead,
right?
And then they leave him. And then he just planks right out the window.
Dude, it's incredible. Oh. I remember when I was watching that, like, for the first time, and I was just like, what the fuck just happened?
I laughed when it happened because it's just, he just planks right out the window. And I was just like, well, yeah, go figure. What did you think was going to happen, Cersei?
Like literally one fell swoop. It's like, crown down, walks out of frame, walks into frame, not a stutter step to be seen.
I love that they just stay fixated.
It was a perfect dive, honestly. 10 out of 10. He killed it.
I mean, that's Olympic quality.
I've used that gif many a time.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
The Brookhaven pool diving board.
Yeah, truly.
For like any minor inconvenience, it's just the Tommen out the window.
Exactly. That is exactly how I
done.
Yeah, the episode starts off so strong. When you picked this, I'm like really bad. The only Game of Thrones episode I know what the episode is from the title is the Red Wedding, obviously, because but like, so when you picked this one, I was like, I don't even know what is this. I don't even know what this is, but I put it on and I was like, fuck yeah, great episode to pick. Like, you couldn't have picked a better episode.
Well, yeah, because there's just so much shit happening, and it's like, where do we go after that? Like, as if it couldn't get more badass, we go into where we at the twins. So we've got dumbass Walder Frey, like celebrating, you know, like, oh, we're here with like Jaime Lannister, whatever. We win. Fuck everyone.
He was like, you don't do anything.
Yeah,
You
he's like, what have
literally
you
don't do
done?
it. Yeah.
Like, you collected tolls to cross your bridge, and then you kind of like buddied up to my dad, and like, we won this war for you. Like, congrats.
Yeah.
I guess he's still high on the red wedding bullshit, whatever.
The Walder Frey stuff is with Arya is amazing. I don't mean to skip too far ahead,
it's
but
so
like
good.
the scene we'll get to, and then the opening of season 1 with her, like, I don't remember what the phrase she says is, but she's like, the lone wolf survive, the pack survives, or like, I forget what the phrase is, but it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's something like in the winter, like the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives.
Yeah,
something
similar.
along those lines.
Yeah,
some wisdom for you all.
Anyway, I don't know why I brought it up if I didn't know the fucking.
But what didn't what didn't strike me the first time in this episode is Walder Frey says something to Jaime, or maybe he's just talking to the crowd in general. And he's like, you know, we defeated these people, and we defeated where are the Starks now? And it's just kind of like, oh, that's funny. You know, like there's one probably in your kitchen, like baking your sons up in a pie and about to feed it to you, bitch. That's where they are.
Bitch. Oh my God.
The Starks are amazing.
So, and then I don't know if they cut away at all. I don't know if this all just keeps happening in the same realm, because I don't think we go back to the twins, do we? Like, is this when Arya does her
No, that's all the way at the end.
So
okay.
It's one of the
I
last
actually
things.
wrote this down because
we're in the Citadel next.
Yes.
I wrote it down.
So it flashes forward to like that shit blows up, whatever. Tomlin kills himself, and then it shows like Cersei torturing the lady that tortured her.
Like the Septa.
Yeah, and it's like
lit.
so weird because like I hate Cersei, right? Like she fucking sucks, but like you're like rooting for her at the same time. Yeah, like because you're like, dude, that woman like tortured the fuck out of you, so like you get her back, like for sure. And then like she goes into like her sins, and she's like, yeah, I fucked my brother, and I'm just like, God, yeah, I had to bring it up.
I like it kind of lost me there.
Like I was rooting for you, but now I'm just like,
Yeah, she says something like, I like fucking my brother and feeling him inside
Yeah.
of me.
Oh, yeah,
like,
it's too much.
We
It's
get
too much.
it.
Yeah.
We get it.
Although I do like at the end there when she gives her to Sir Gregor, and then she just leaves, and she's like, shame, shame.
Yeah.
I'm like, you petty bitch. I love it.
Yeah.
This is the first time she does this, but so blowing out the sept was a merciful death for all of them. Like honestly,
it
probably
really
one of
was.
the most merciful deaths you can have in
I
Game
thought
of
the
Thrones.
High Sparrow should probably have been tortured, because like I hated him that much. But like,
Yeah,
you know,
he
for
sucked.
Marjorie, I'm glad it was quick.
So this is the first time she does this, but she also takes the Dorne ladies and like tortures. Like she
like gives them poison.
She's like, you are gonna watch your daughter die, just like because the Dorne bitch killed her daughter,
Myrcella.
Myrcella.
What does she do? She kisses her with like poisonous
Yeah,
lipstick
she's
on
like,
or something.
She's like, we will force you to eat. We're gonna keep you alive to watch this bitch die.
Dude,
Well,
Just
she
end
dies.
with her a day.
And
Cersei
then-
is dark.
Yeah.
She's fucking dark.
You're
Who's the
gonna
Mad
watch
Queen,
her rot.
Khaleesi or Cersei?
I
They fucking
know.
both.
I mean,
are.
Cersei is just.
Well, this episode makes me sad because this is like when Khaleesi is still like in her prime.
Yeah.
So
I
she's
wrote
like,
that down.
Yeah, so it's like if you didn't watch this, or like you're currently watching it now and you haven't gotten to this part yet, you're like, wow, she's great, love her.
Yeah,
like
never
you want
changed.
her on the Iron Throne.
Exactly.
Big time.
Her and Tyrion together, dream team, love
I
it.
know. Like when she gives him the hand of the queen pin, I'm like, yeah.
That's like the sweet. So I wrote down that there's not enough Tyrion in this episode, but
Yeah.
him getting the pin was so sweet. And he like kneels. I'm just like, oh. I just
Do you guys
love
agree he's easily the best character on the show?
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Poor Dario. Khaleesi's like, sorry, dude, you gotta stay here. I
Yep.
don't give a fuck about
Yeah,
you.
I know.
And he is like, oh man, he's pining for her. That
Yeah.
sucks.
And
I
she-
think he's the hottest on the show. That's why
Ugh.
when people ask me, I say
Dario?
him. Yeah.
So
The
Dario
new
number
Dario.
2.
Yeah, Dario number 2. Uh-huh.
Yeah, first Dario, not so much.
No,
Second
not
Dario's
into-
okay.
Not into long hair blondes.
Yeah,
but
no.
Yeah.
I'm a big Jon Snow person, I think.
I don't
most
know.
Of us
What's the guy? I'm so bad with names. What's her first husband's name?
Khal
He's the fucking hottest on the show.
I
He
mean,
is hot.
Hot.
like petrifying though.
Hot.
Like in a marry fuck kill situation, like you'd bang him, but you wouldn't.
I don't
marry
know.
him.
Would you fuck him?
I don't
mean, he
know.
was
I might marry
aggressive.
him.
Remember in the beginning?
Well, that was when he was forcing it, but like
Look
at
how
least
sweet
came
he
around.
was.
I know,
Like, at the
exactly.
end.
Once she agreed to it.
I know.
You can change a man, apparently.
Yeah,
And he's
sure.
like so hot. I don't know.
I mean, he
Yes.
is. He's amazing.
Yikes.
I know.
Yeah.
I realized that after I was like riding for him.
We have like a few sweet moments. So we have that one. We have so in this season, Jon and Sansa are reunited, and they have that like sweet moment where Sansa's like, "We got a white raven. She's like, winter is
And
here.
he's
and then
like,
they
I'm
had
not
that-
a Stark. And she's like, you are to me. I thought that
Yeah.
was so
and
sweet.
she's like, we have a white raven. And she's like, winter is here. And
Yeah.
they're like, father always
Yep.
promised. I was like, oh no.
Sansa really comes back like as being the best. Like in the beginning, I was like, "Fuck Sansa, she sucks."
Rags to riches story for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
she has a really good redemption arc for sure.
Well, she was a bratty kid, and then she was getting fucking tortured, and then she was a
Yeah,
boss
but like
bitch.
you think about season 1 when she's just like so infatuated with Joffrey,
Ew.
and then it just literally like
Yeah.
not her fault, but like Ned Stark's death, she has like a little.
She's a
bit
little
do
to
with
blame
it.
for
Yeah,
that. She
and
is.
I loved Ned,
God.
so I was like, remember when I texted you when I was watching it? I was like devastated.
Oh,
Like I was
yeah.
like,
Yep.
fuck this, because I didn't watch this show when it like first came out.
Yeah.
So I didn't start watching it until right before the last season. So like a lot of Game of Thrones fans, like diehards, hate me because they're like, we had to wait a year every time
Yeah.
for like a new season. But
that's with any show though, right? Like
Right.
Yeah.
if you catch it later, like too fucking bad. It is what it is.
exactly.
Um,
But she comes back. She redeems herself, and I think just because
She
I love
does.
Sophie Turner, I'm like,
I love her too.
Oh,
I
God.
want to
Sophie
be her
Turner and
friend.
Joe Jonas.
Oh,
are
my
a
God.
treat till you get us
yeah,
started.
please don't.
I'm a Joe Jonas girl, and you're a Nick Jonas girl, though. So we tell me you're a Kevin, and we can all live happily
Oh,
ever after,
Fuck
bro.
you! I am not a Kevin girl. Ew. I'm a Nick girl. I like Nick
Okay.
Jonas.
Well, you guys can
God.
fight over that, and I'll have Joe. It's not a good thing to like the same guy.
No,
we
it
have to
is.
all.
It's fine.
What's the younger brother's name?
Frankie.
Oh,
my
my
God.
god, I forgot about
You could be a
him.
Frankie girl.
I don't know why I know everything about the Jonas Brothers.
Well, we all
This is
do.
a good
We-
topic switch. I really love the Jonas
Yeah.
Brothers, so this is good.
Yeah, we can keep going. When
Yeah.
it switches to the Happiness Begins, like Amazon Prime documentary.
Oh, we should talk about that one.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't watched that.
Oh my
Ah.
God.
It's good, and honestly, you might be a Joe girl after because Nick is a fucking douche in it.
Oh, is he really?
Fuck
He looks like he
off.
could be
They
a little
blame him
douchey.
for the breakup, basically.
Well, duh, and he admits it. He goes solo.
Yeah, and they left Kevin out of a fucking show. So I'm gonna go on a little rant here.
Well,
Here's I'm gonna spoil this. For
are you like defending Kevin?
Game of
Do you think
Jonas.
he's
Oh,
This
been
episode
represented?
changed to
Game of Jonas?
Game
Okay,
of Jonas.
so little thing, they break up, which was Nick's fault. So they had all these radio shows lined up, and they weren't gonna do them. But the radio's shows are like high up people were literally like, if you don't do these shows, we will never play a Jonas Brothers songs again, like Solo, Jonas Brothers, whatever. So they played them, and they didn't invite Kevin. Like Joe and Nick spitefully like didn't want to do them in the first place.
Why?
So
What
they,
did Kevin do?
nothing, but they were like, let's just us two go. We'll get some like fucking hobo Joe like bass player and just fucking
because
go.
they were basically saying like they sing, Kevin doesn't.
So they don't need him. You just get any guitarist, and I was like, I'm ill about this.
You
Kevin
actually
was like, it's the
learned-
worst thing that ever happened to me.
You actually like love Kevin after that.
Yeah.
kind of. Just
Do you
because like
really? I
Kevin,
watched Married
Kevin
to
gets like
Jonas.
shit on.
That's like
his whole life.
I don't know, because I've never given a shit about Kevin, so it would take a lot for me to.
Here's the
care
thing:
about him.
Kevin was the oldest, so he got
Kevin,
bullied.
if you're listening to this, I'm so
He
sorry.
literally-
Sorry, Kevin.
He literally got bullied because he was older when, like, Nick was like young when they got famous, so he didn't have a chance to like live
well,
that
no,
like.
Nick's not even the baby. I guess he's the baby of the group, and they're
Sure,
that can always
but
pose
Kevin
an
was
issue.
like getting bullied his whole life, and then he ended up being Kevin Jonas of the Jonas Brothers. Like he just was like full bullied his whole life. I stand Kevin Jonas. I'm switching to a Kevin girl. I'll
I
take him.
think Kevin is still bullied, obviously.
Oh,
'cause
well,
we're
that's
doing
what
it
I'm
right
saying.
now.
He became Kevin Jonas, not Nick or Joe. He was Kevin, so he was bullied his whole life, and then he became the worst Jonas brother as well.
Oh,
But not to me, Kevin. I love you.
this is brutal.
That's really
Anyway.
sweet.
Thank you.
That is sweet.
Anyway,
Kevin's definitely listening to this, so
Yeah, he is.
he
Sorry,
does.
Kev.
He listens.
Nick, don't even listen to her. You're great. She's
Anyway.
jealous.
And then the next really sweet moment was when Lyanna like sticks up and does that whole like
Like,
you
the
didn't
North
answer the
Remembers
call.
speech?
Yeah, you didn't answer the call to all those people. North remembers.
So that's in the books.
King of the North. I'm like crying in the club during
Yeah.
the King
Yeah.
of the North speech.
Oh, I
She's-
love her too. She's King of the North.
She's a badass.
I want to be her.
And I think it's really fitting that that happens right after like my favorite part of the episode, which is the big reveal where Bran goes back in time through the Weirwood, and it shows Ned finding Lyanna in the Tower of Joy, and she's just given birth to Jon, and they finally say it. And for some people, they've been waiting since 1996 when the
Truly.
first book came out that like Jon's mother is revealed. It's Lyanna,
Mhm.
and right after that, like his mother's namesake declares him King of the North.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty badass. That's some smart writing right there.
Yeah, you
Yep.
get sweet baby John, and then
Mhm.
his like face.
Sexy grown Jon.
Mm.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. John is hot too.
John is
John is
hot.
a
Rob was
snack.
hotter, but
I
John-
know. I love him.
I like. Well,
what's his name? Robert Madden? No,
Rob
Something
Madden.
Rob
Yeah.
Madden.
Yeah. He.
Not
Rob Madden. What? Richard Madden.
Richard.
His name's Rob in the show.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't think it's Rob, but
It's Richard Madden.
with an R. Steve. I don't know. Steve Madden.
Kevin.
Madden.
It's Kevin.
It's Kevin Madden.
It was Kevin Jonas the whole time. He
Might
was
as well
Rob Stark.
be.
But yeah, I loved that reveal. That was like I had been waiting for that moment for so long.
There were so many heavy hitters in this, but
Mhm.
I mean that everyone like knew that was coming, but the confirmation was.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I also really like Davos, like just ripping Melisandre a new
Oh,
one for
fuck
burning
yeah.
a child, which like
Yes.
I feel like we all have fantasized about doing that.
Mhm.
She just acted on it,
Yeah.
which wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
can't do that,
Yeah.
Melisandre.
Yeah.
Like shit, don't.
I was
Yeah.
absolutely terrified in the episode where like you find out that she's actually like 1,000,000 years old and she takes her
Amulet.
her thing off and she's just like this old wrinkly
Decrepit, yeah.
monster. She's like hunched over with like gray thinning hair, like probably my worst nightmare. And I was like, oh, put it back on. My God, it's terrifying.
Davos just loves Shireen so
I
I
know.
know it was. I felt like that was heartbreaking for me to rewatch that this morning. I was
Yeah.
kind of like, oh damn,
Yeah.
that's sad.
Sends that bitch off.
Yeah,
And her
she
parents
leaves.
sucked. He was like such a
Stannis.
bad.
Stannis
Oh
is
my
the
God.
worst.
Well, Stannis'
Although
wife is top-notch bad.
Selyse is worse than Stannis.
Yeah, for
is.
sure.
I wish he just like kidnapped her and made her.
So she
his
had
own.
grayscale as a baby, and that's
Yeah.
why.
Yep.
And they caught it early and got it.
Yeah.
So she didn't die from it, obviously. But
Well,
she
that's
was,
why Selyse like never really bonded with her because she
Yeah.
just like expected her to die. I'm just
Yeah,
like, fuck
fucking
this.
bitch.
And then like she couldn't have another live baby after that or something. I don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. She was the worst.
I was reminded, like, just seeing Marjorie and Loris of like how they killed Renly off, which was like the ghost,
Yeah.
Like, a magic.
She
ghost.
births a ghost.
Yeah.
Doesn't it come back in Harrenhal? Isn't there another like demon ghost in Harrenhal?
I don't.
Or am I making that up? I can't remember.
Honestly, it sounds right.
I mean, there might be.
Matt should have told us that you were coming on to do this episode like 6 months ago, so I could
I know,
right?
rewatch the entire series because I was like forgetting people's names left and right, like being like, "Fuck, I don't know who that is." Like I know who it is, but I
Yeah.
don't know their name.
Well, I was looking at Qyburn in the episode, and I was like, I know who the fuck you are, but what is your name?
Until you said Qyburn.
And then like I just screamed it out in the kitchen. I was like, it's Qyburn.
Yeah.
My boyfriend was like, yeah, that's it, because I had asked him too. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
He's just like Cersei's like evil little minion.
Oh
the whole
yeah,
time.
he's just a henchman. And
when he like brings in that like gigantic dragon slaying
Oh,
spear
like the
shooter.
crossbow thing?
Yeah, I'm like who can shoot accurately with that fucking thing?
and how long did it take to
everybody
build?
is the answer. Everybody
Yeah.
apparently can
Yeah.
shoot that thing with amazing finesse.
And apparently you can build them quick and outfit a whole city in those motherfuckers.
and
Like,
reload them within seconds.
yes, those. How much does that harpoon? Is that whatever the arrow weigh
I don't
to
know.
take down
enough to
a
pierce
dragon?
pierce a dragon.
And
yeah.
they're so accurate that you can also use them on a ship, a moving ship, a sailing ship. You can just blast a dragon out of the air.
We have to talk about sweet Sam. Sam is just
He goes to a library.
such a
What is there to
pussy.
talk
he's
about?
just trying. He's just trying. Like I was dying laughing, and I don't know if I found this was funny the first time I watched it. When he goes to hand the guy the papers, and the guy won't move his hand. Do you know what I'm talking about? No one. No. He goes to that like big ass library, right? And he hands. I'm saying this in 2020 terms. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
I mean, it's this. They're in the Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes to hand the guy the papers to say, like, I'm the new Grand
the new
Minister
Meister.
or whatever.
Meister.
Yeah. And he goes to hand him papers, and the guy won't move his hand from here, and he has to like lean over really
yeah,
far
well,
to
Sam's
hand
just
him
like
the
a
papers.
clumsy, awkward.
But
pussy
he just
and
means
lack
so
of-
well.
I know he's sweet. He's John's best friend. He's the best friend.
I feel like that whole scene is just to show us like the inside of that really dope library.
Yeah.
And then like he kind of has a Simba moment because like the thing turns and like this streak of light just shines right on Sam.
Yeah.
So he's just like Simba in that moment. I'm just like, good for you, buddy. You had your moment.
Like
It's
no
over now.
women and children.
Yeah.
He's just like, sorry, I don't. Like I don't know.
It's
what
not
to
my
do. It's
kid.
like, fuck off, Gilly.
Yeah.
Get out.
I
It's
mean,
my
that's still
moment.
relatively true in libraries. No women or children.
What I was gonna say, going back to the big Ned and Lyanna reveal, is like, you know how much restraint you have to not tell Catelyn like, John's not my bastard kid.
Yeah.
Like, Kathleen did not like John.
She was
like,
awful.
hated John,
Yeah,
really, because
hated
it's
him.
like, I would fucking too. If my husband came home with another woman's kid, I'd be like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Like, that sucks. Don't you think he could have just, like, whispered, like, it's not my fucking
Well, he promised Liana, right?
I
Yeah.
know.
And he
but,
was like, he wouldn't tell anyone, and it's, good for
So
him for
much
keeping
honor.
a secret, because like in 2020 that shit gets out.
Mhm.
well, there's so many good lines. I don't know when they said it, but like, I think it's Sansa says it to John in 7, and he's saying like, Dad, like, or Ned, whatever, and then Sansa's like, look where that got him, all that fucking honor,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Like, he's dead. He doesn't have a head anymore. So
He lived an honorable man, and he died an
I
honorable
know.
man. Like, he's dead.
yeah,
Like,
that is the
sometimes
worst.
you
So
just
dumb.
gotta do some dirty shit.
Having PTSD watching that.
Yeah.
That was awful.
It was really sad.
I really thought Arya was gonna somehow. She was like 7.
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
know.
she's gonna save him. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh my god.
She's got this.
that like cemented Thrones is like, okay, anything can fucking happen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's kind of why, like, we talked about this a little
Yeah.
earlier before Julie came in. It's like, that's why I hated the last season, because it's like, you built up for seasons and
Yeah.
seasons and seasons that anyone can die at any moment, and at the end you're just like, nah, everyone lives.
Well, we
Like,
did.
fuck you.
Everyone did like a death pool, and it just didn't turn out well. Like everyone was like, "Okay, this wasn't that fun." Because I thought people were gonna get just like
I thought people were gonna be slaughtered.
exactly.
In the long night.
And I
like,
mean, it's the last season. Just go for it.
yeah.
We had one at work. It was like, I'm sure everyone's was the same, where you put like if they were alive or dead and if they become a White Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I had this like whole thing in my head that like 90% of the cast becomes White Walkers, and like I don't know. It's just like I don't know. So I put a lot of people as White Walkers, not knowing that you get negative points if you're wrong.
Yeah.
So by like episode 3, I was at like -20.
Well, I
And
think
by the time it was over, my score was 0. Like I somehow bounced back to like
Yeah.
not negatives, but
broke
0.
even.
I think a misconception and what people weren't aware of is that we were wrapping up the White Walker line in episode 2 and 3. Like it's done. I think people thought that was endgame. Like we were gonna maybe fuck with Cersei first, get that storyline out of the way, and then the total end Game of Thrones is, are we all becoming White Walkers
Yep.
or not? And that's just not how
Yeah.
they decided to
No.
go through it, which was like a kind of a cool twist. But then people were like, the whole series was leading up to this, and
Yep.
that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so the White Walker thing didn't really make sense because it's like, oh no, nobody's really like people did turn,
But like
that it's
not
like,
really.
no,
Not anyone.
yeah, that
meaningful.
wasn't something that they were really focusing on because they knew they were just gonna go
Yeah.
Right.
this way. It's just
Oh, one
I think
thing
you
like
won.
that. I don't know. Oh no, we do see him again in season 7. But Benjen's in this episode,
love,
which
love
is really cool.
Cold hands, Uncle
Yeah.
Benjen.
And when he showed up in this episode, I was like, oh yeah, you're still around.
Yeah,
This time.
I still don't know. I think if someone had explained this to me before, and I'm not sure if you know, but you read the book, so why is he not full White Walker?
So in the books, it doesn't happen in the sense that like it's Benjen. There is a character in the books named Cold Hands,
Mhm.
and he's like, half dead because the children of the forest saved him from being turned.
Got it.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
but so it's like rumored to be Uncle Benjen, but it's not. Like in the books, do you even think it's Benjen?
I mean, it's kind of like a theory, like, oh, maybe, Cold Hands is Benjen, and I
Sure.
think the show just kind of ran because you'd recognize
I
him.
like that
Yeah.
because
so.
he was a lot. That happened in season 1, right? Or
Yeah, he disappears season 1.
yeah. Damn, I love this show.
I
Yeah,
know, it's so
me too.
good.
I'm sad it's over. Watching the show live was such an event. I
It
mean,
was.
when you like seeing that like HBO like pop
Like,
up and then getting the like theme song.
Yep.
I miss
Dude, the
that.
theme song is. I
It's a
usually
bop.
don't watch
You got it.
opening credits, but every time for Game of Thrones I watched it because I was like, I just love this.
It is. It's
Even
good.
when I watched it to watch this episode, I was like,
They did a few like I think normally they do previously on and it jumps right into it. But I think in the last season they switched it up a bit and actually did like a cold open, which they normally don't do. Am I making that up? I'm pretty sure like for the first time they
There
like
was
they
a
didn't
delayed
jump right-
opening.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
last season.
Yeah.
There was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the battle for Winterfell that they did it or something else.
But then we get Jamie coming home and seeing everything exploded. And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So he rides in and sees Cersei getting crowned and he is so fucking scared. Everyone in the crowd is scared.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like he he also realizes in that moment that his last child is dead.
Yeah.
So now all of his children are dead, which is just like weird. Like you're looking at your
I
sister
know.
and you're like, oh, if she's queen, our son together is dead.
Yeah. I like how they eventually start saying that because like Jamie has to like act like it's not his fucking kids the whole time.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
so
It
disturbing.
sucks. In season 7, Cersei, like when she's queen, her and Jamie are in bed and he's like, no one can see us like that. She's like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm the queen. What are they gonna say?
Yeah.
Like, ew.
I know.
A
Hate
little
it.
bold. A little bold.
Very
Cersei.
bold.
So let's talk about because you kind of brought it up already, but we didn't really fully go into Arya changing faces.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I have never been closer to God than when Arya rips that face off
I
and
know.
shows
oh my
herself.
God, it's amazing.
I just like, I think I exploded in that moment with like joy because I was just like, finally it fucking happens. Like,
Yep.
fuck you, Walder Frey, you bastard, destroying my life with the Red Wedding.
I know.
And she's just like, my name's Arya Stark.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know the last thing you're ever going to see is a Stark face smiling down on you.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes,
Mic drop.
bitch.
Mic
Yes. I just got chills from you
Slits his
repeating
throat.
that
Yeah.
line.
I know.
Like,
He's just sitting there gurgling for a good 15
Yeah.
seconds.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, it doesn't even bother me that there's like this open throat on screen. I'm just like, yes, die, bitch.
Yeah.
I know.
die.
I literally said out loud watching this, I was like, yes, bitch.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
she is just phenomenal.
She's just,
And she was like one of my day one people too. I
Yeah, of
always liked
course.
her.
she was my all-time favorite character. In the books, though, my favorite chapters to read were Bran's. Not gonna
Really?
lie.
Because I will say that the whole series, when I watch, I was like, Bran's got the easiest job in the fucking world. He sits there and stone face and repeats a few lines and that's it. Like, he doesn't have to do any acting, really.
Yeah.
He's just,
Well, in this episode, Bran's still kind of like himself, right? And then
Sure.
it's like shortly after this that he kind of just becomes, absolutely robotic.
yeah.
But yeah, his chapters in the book at least are so interesting. You get so much information about the lore of Westeros and like the past, and there's all this like wild shit happening that none of the other characters are even like prepared for.
Right.
So that's why he was my favorite in the books at least. But Arya is just like day one badass bitch. Like,
Yeah.
I would roll with her. That's my homie.
There's nothing not to like with Arya.
Yeah. Although I do wish that there was like a sideshow of like Arya and the Hound.
Oh,
Just
the
like
best.
their adventures, because
Yes.
that was some of like the best moments in some episodes for me, was those two just bantering.
Arya's face stuff is another thing people were disappointed with, but not like, okay, that's that. Like, there's no, like,
Yeah, it
people
did
really
kind of
thought
just,
she was
like,
gonna
stop.
put fucking kill Jamie, put his face on and kill Cersei, and then be
Yeah.
like, fuck off.
I feel like that also would have been a little bit of a cop out though, because I
Mhm.
really just wanted Jamie to kill Cersei.
Yeah,
That to
Yeah.
me would have been like a full circle for those two. But they kind of went like they're so in love
Yeah,
route,
oh
which is kind of just like,
God.
ugh.
is there anything worse than Jamie leaving Brienne?
No, there is nothing worse
Anything
than that.
worse? No.
Idiot
Brienne is
timing.
another, like, the minute she was on, you're like,
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah.
that's the girl.
Yeah.
She's super dope.
Jamie's such a fuckboy.
Yeah, he truly
God.
is.
I know.
I will say Battle of Winterfell against the White Walkers. The next episode when they're all just kind of celebrating is fucking hilarious. That is a really
Yeah.
good episode. In season
I like the
8.
episode before where they're all
Getting
finally
ready. Mhm.
interacting.
Yeah,
And you get some reunions happening.
Yep.
I really
Oh,
like that
sweet.
one.
When they're sitting by the fire drinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when they knight Brienne. Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That's such a good
Tears.
moment.
Tears. I'm pretty sure I watched that one like I was in Greece and we all huddled around my phone in bed and watched that episode like after it aired because I was like, I don't want to get spoiled.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't wait a week, so we watched it just on my phone. Small, like
There was only one episode that got spoiled for me because I was in Boston on a girls' trip, and so I didn't get to see it. And I was a
What
fucking
was it?
idiot and went on Facebook and ruined my life. It was when Hodor dies.
Yeah. Another great episode.
And I was so mad that got spoiled for me. But then even still watching it the next day when I got home, like tears. Just like
was it
streaming
Is that
down my
exactly how it
face.
happens in the books?
That we haven't gotten there in the books yet.
What?
Yeah.
I wish I was a
I think
bigger
that's
reader.
Jane Westerling.
I
She's
actually
in the
love
book
to
as Jane
read,
Westerling.
but I didn't even. It's never even actually crossed my mind to read Game of Thrones.
They're very inflated. I mean, if you want to read about like banners in great detail for every house ever, like these are the books for you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not. gonna
And just
read
so
these.
many names, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
why he's never gonna finish these books.
And it's different in the books from the show. Like in the show, the King of the North speech comes from Lyanna Mormont, but in the book, it's from Wyman Manderly, I'm pretty sure. So like things change. So it's
Yeah.
like I can't even be like, oh, it's like, you know, you can follow easily because as it happens in the shows, as it happens in the book.
It's two totally different times.
Yeah, it's very different. Some
What-
shit doesn't even happen in the books. Like when what's her face's dragons get stolen. That doesn't fucking
yeah.
happen.
Oh,
Oh my
shit.
God, I hated that storyline.
That was so
Yeah.
stupid.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic scenes of Game of Thrones is like when they reveal that she's the Dragon Queen, and when she goes into the fire,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it like
Yep.
goes down, and she's just like,
And naked and hot.
yeah, and just like covered in like I don't know, soot.
I'm pretty sure Amelia Clark had to like negotiate being naked out of her.
I heard
She
that.
did.
Yeah,
She did.
because
She's like,
she
"I'm
didn't
done."
like how much she was naked.
Yeah.
She said if it doesn't move the plot forward, then she doesn't want to be naked.
It makes sense.
Which
I
is why I think
agree with her though. Like,
Well, yeah, because
I
they were
mean,
just showing titties for the sake
yeah.
of showing titties.
I know, and you can show all the rest of the people's
Yeah, but
titties.
there's
Yeah.
plenty of other people
She's
who want to show
she
tits.
is the talent. We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see it, but I don't need to for her sake. It's fine.
I think that's she explained.
Amelia Clark, please send Kathleen a picture of your boobs.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
I think the last time we see her naked is when she burns all of the cows in oh god, what is the name of that place? But the sacred place to the Dothraki.
Mm.
When she burns all of them in there, that's the last time we see her naked. I'm pretty sure. And she said because she thought that was a pivotal moment for her character and like
She was okay with
empowering
that.
for Daenerys. So she kept that.
She. I think she's also naked, like when she comes out of the tub with OG Dario, like the blonde. She's like in the tub, and he comes in, and she has to like get out, and that's when they first like kind of align with each other. Because that's like I forget the storyline. It's been so long, but there's like 3 guys wherever they're at, and they're all gonna try and. I don't even know what the fucking storyline is, but she's naked there.
Marine is a wild place. I think actually in the books, Dany's still in Marine. She hasn't sailed yet.
Mm.
Like you're just in Marine forever with Dany in the books, and it's so fucking boring.
Well,
Chapters.
she's also way younger in the books, right? She's like
She
13.
was like 13. Yeah,
Yeah. That's wild.
Sell her to Khal Drogo, but you know he's hot, so it's okay, right?
Yeah, he's hot. It's fine. Her brother sucked.
Oh
Oh,
my
His
god.
my
death
God.
was phenomenal.
That
Yeah.
was such a good
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Yep.
Her brother was such a fucking piece of shit.
I know.
Who was Sansa's second husband?
Ramsey?
Ramsay.
Yeah,
well,
he
Tyrion.
was fucking. Oh,
well,
then-
technically, yeah, she
yeah.
marries
I
Tyrion.
know,
That's
just a
her,
little bit
her
of
first
that.
husband.
But
He
yeah.
was absolutely terrifying. He like
He's
scared,
psycho.
like
He's
yeah, like
psycho.
I remember the scene when he's like hunting the girls. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And the girls like sprinting through the woods,
Yeah.
terrifying, and he's just like so happy, like shooting at. Like I'm like, dude,
I mean,
I'm
the most
scared to
satisfying death of all time is
Yeah,
Ramsay. And
yeah.
feeding him to his own dogs is the best.
I just
Yeah.
loved John
God.
beating the shit out of him in like full rage after the Battle of the Bastards. Like I
Mhm.
felt that to my
Mhm.
core.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I was just
yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah,
get
there's
him.
some like characters in the show that you're like, I can't wait till you die. Like Joffrey's death was very satisfying to me as well.
This is. I was really fucking happy Ygritte died. So when she finally gets
Aw.
shot, I was like, yes, bitch, fuck you.
Wow, really? I
That's-
loved her.
I hated
I was
her
a big Egret girl.
because I wanted Jon Snow.
True.
So, you know, I knew she
See,
was.
I was never like a Jon Snow. I never like pined after Jon Snow.
Oh.
That's not anything.
I agree. He's hot.
He's,
No,
yeah.
I don't agree with you. I agree with
Yeah.
Brooke, not you.
That's fine. I'll stick with Joe Jonas. You guys.
Oh my god! You picked Kevin. It's over.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
you are a Kevin
I'd
girl
take
now.
Kevin over Nick. I would.
Producer Matt, we are posting pictures from 7th grade of Kathleen helping me put up my Nick Jonas posters in my bedroom as proof that she wrould for Nick.
If only you had
Big
those.
fraud.
She's lying again, as per usual. on
I
this
do have a
podcast.
picture of me
Lying.
kissing a poster of Nick Jonas if you want to post that.
I have a
Okay.
picture of me kissing a poster of JTT.
Yeah, is that a band?
Much-
I was like,
Are you fucking kidding me?
I was
I
kidding.
can't be
said-
that much older than you guys.
JTT. Oh,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor from
Oh,
fucking
fucking hell.
From Home Improvement.
I'm
I'm gonna. I'm
know.
pulling a
I know
Tom
who
in
you're talking
today.
about. Sorry.
Stop. I said that because of Mean Girls. I wasn't actually asking if it was a band.
Don't fucking do that to me. I'm already struggling with my age as it is.
No, I loved him too. Me and Kenny actually just watched The Adventures of Huck and Finn. Huck and Finn, is that right? Tom and Finn?
Tom.
Tom.
Matt's trying across the room to get it to. He's clearly saying it. And she's still getting it wrong.
What is it? Is that what I said to begin with?
No,
What did I say?
I don't know.
Yeah, Tom and Huck. And he's in that. And I was like, oh, I do get why I loved him in the 90s.
Okay, I have some quiz questions for Brooke. Here
Let's
we go.
do it.
And if she can't answer, we're gonna
Oh
give
my
it to Julie.
God. I can't even remember people's names.
Okay. All right.
This
At
is
the
bullshit.
so
Oh,
we'll start
fuck.
with an easy one.
Okay.
At the beginning of the series, how many kids did Ned and Catelyn Stark have?
Are we including the bastard?
Ned and Catelyn.
Ned and Catelyn have Robb, Sansa, Arya, Rickon, and Bran. So 5.
Nailed it. Okay. Who's the first character to be called King in the North?
Robb.
Nailed it. How does Daenerys hatch her dragon eggs?
She goes into the pier with Khal Drogo.
That's my girl. What is Olenna Tyrell's nickname?
Oh my God, what do they call her? Fuck. Do they call her the Thorn? Because like she's the rose, like that's their sigil is the rose.
Queen of Thorns.
Yeah.
Ha. Nice. Who rules the Iron Islands when the series began?
Balon Greyjoy. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. One more. These are easy. You're ripping through these, and by the end I wouldn't have gotten any of these. How does Tyrion iconically react to one of Joffrey's tantrums?
Slaps him.
Yeah. Good job.
Slaps that
6
bitch.
for 6. I would have been like 50%.
Yeah, I knew the answers to the first like 3, and then I was like, oh, hope she doesn't guess this to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even remember who that is.
We gotta have tougher questions next time
That's
for the pros. If it's just fucking stupid ass me and Julie, we would have been stumped.
Yeah, and next time me and Kathleen get to like rock it out of who has to be the one to answer the questions, because I feel like that was a setup.
Well, here's the thing. It wasn't a setup.
Yeah.
You wanted to watch me fail. We have no chemistry anymore. I get it, but
It's not really for us. It's for the guests. It's just like maybe
We
jump
weren't-
in.
yeah, maybe jump in.
Maybe like
Maybe
jump
next
in.
time give me a buzzer so I could have got Rob Starr correct in answer number 2.
Okay.
The only other thing I noted that we didn't talk about, so we do see the Greyjoys briefly, because Dany finally set sail for Westeros, so that's a huge moment. Her fleet is fucking massive, by the way. But we didn't talk about Olenna being savage as fuck
So savage. Amazing.
in Dorne.
She's
And
like, you look like
Varys-
a boy. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. She's like, what's her name? Barbaro? And she's like, oh, bruh. She's like, oh, whatever. She's like, yes, bitch. Varys shows up there. And then, like, next thing you know, Varys is on the ship next to Dany. How the fuck did he get there so fast?
Yeah, I mean, that's the story of this whole
Time
show.
traveling.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
He is so annoying. He's the worst.
I kind of like Varys, the secrets, whatever, little creeper dude. I didn't like his death that he got. I felt like it was a little cheap, especially for being such a pivotal character and the politics of the whole show.
Yep.
But, what, we knew he was going to die.
Sure.
Like, we knew that, so whatever.
Yeah.
Same end game for him.
Yeah, but Lady Olenna, in true form,
Yeah.
was a bad bitch. I love her.
She's, oh, God,
Yeah,
she's
she
the fucking
rocks.
best. And the way she died was the best.
I know.
I just aspire to be her one day.
Yeah.
Tell Cersei I want her to know it was
I want her
me.
to know.
I
it was
know.
me.
She's amazing.
I'm going to
She's
say
good.
that before I die,
Yeah.
and it'll make sense to no one,
Yeah.
probably, but I'm going to say that.
Put it
It'll
on my
make sense to
tombstone.
us.
Yeah.
so
When,
it's
as I'm
fine.
dying of coronavirus, I'm just going to
Yeah,
say that.
right.
And I'm just going to be like, okay, Brooke, goodbye.
If you do die of coronavirus, it'll still be relevant. Everyone will know. They'll
That's
be like,
true.
Wow.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll at least understand.
The only note that I wrote down that I didn't say out loud was fuck Littlefinger. So
He's
Yeah.
so creepy.
so fuck you.
I know.
Littlefinger.
Thank God Sansa denied that.
Oh my God. When he was like, I picture me on the throne and you by my side. I'm just like,
Ew,
you're a
God.
fucking creep, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
get
30,
out of
she's
here.
19.
Yeah.
I guess that's normal though for this show.
He's
I mean,
30.
honestly.
Excuse me.
He's
like
older than
60.
that.
I was trying to make him feel better. He might be listening.
Well, we didn't give a shit about Kevin Jonas
Yeah, I
and
know.
his feelings earlier.
God damn
That's
it.
true.
But you know what, Littlefinger?
60, huh? Now we're doing the segment of Where Are They Now? As I'm swimming through, where were you guys?
As
the
I'm swimming
stereo,
through the
I'm writing
stereo,
you a
I'm
symphony of
writing you a symphony
sound.
of sound. Okay.
Nailed it.
All right. So what we're gonna do is just have Brooke guess what their most notable
God.
since, right?
Fuck
Notable
me.
since credit on IMDb.
This is not going to be as good. Do I get to phone a friend?
No, you don't.
So if I get it wrong, do you have to answer? Or do you
I mean,
know?
I'm reading them off a piece of paper.
Oh. And you both have
but
a piece
I-
of paper?
I
Do
will
we have the same paper?
Yeah. I will also say that I will add what I think their most notable credit is, even though it's obviously not these because I've never seen any of these things.
Oh, great. This is good.
Just say the name, literally.
Tyrion Lannister. Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
She's a huge Thrones fan, as you can see.
What has he done since Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was just in a movie I saw recently. Fuck, what fucking movie was that? Shit. And I don't know if it came out after Game of Thrones. I have no idea.
Well, it could be like recent. We'll do within the last like 5 years.
I love the dogs
The last
barking.
5 years, what we've seen. He was in a movie.
Yeah, I know what
he
I'm
plays
thinking.
himself in the movie.
Oh, he does?
Oh, I know what I'm thinking of.
And if not, you can name any movie he was in. If you
How
can't
is it
think
not
of
He was an
Okay.
elf.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I was
that's
thinking. But no. But what I was gonna say is 3 Billboards from Ebbing, Missouri. He was in.
Oh,
He was.
I didn't see that.
Well,
It was a good movie. You should watch
The
it.
correct answers, because apparently ours weren't correct, is the Angry Birds movie too.
What?
Do you mean to tell me you don't read these IMDb? Fucking-
Yeah,
You're like,
no.
who are the voices there?
He is the Mighty Eagle, and then he's also between two
Between Two Ferns.
Ferns.
That's what it was. I just watched that.
The
He's
movie
in that
as
movie.
himself.
Yes. See,
And
I
then,
told you he plays himself.
Croods 2, and he just recently announced a.
This can't be true.
I can't read.
Croods.
He's
Of
going to be in
course.
a drama called The Dwarf.
That seems fucked up.
Little on the nose there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
I'm gonna like. I don't even know
Why?
why.
Because
This
you don't know
one's
how
on
to
here.
say his real name.
No. Oh hell no. Jamie, who's you want-
Nikolai Walster.
Coster Waldo.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy.
y-
He was
I
in
mean-
some weird rom-com, wasn't he? I don't know if he's...
Oh yeah, he was
Go on Hollywood.
in. Wait, was Jamie in that Rebel Wilson movie, or am I making that? Oh no, he was in the one with Nicki Minaj and Amy Schumer. He was in that movie. No, who was it?
What?
It was that movie where Kate Upton. It was Kate Upton and fucking what the fuck? He was the douchey love interest in it.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Hot though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jamie's
But he
hot.
hasn't really been in anything. Sorry, Matt put together. We are so unprepared. Matt put together this list, so I might just like bulldoze through it.
All right, that's fine.
He's not here to listen to me say that. So, Cersei,
The last thing
Lena.
she did,
Hetty.
Oh, was it the other
Lena
woman?
Headey?
Is that what you're thinking
Yes,
of?
the other woman.
I have no idea what that bitch has done since. What?
She's in the Dark
I'm never
Crystal.
gonna know if people are going to do voice acting.
Yeah.
Although Kit Harington does voice a character in How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Well,
and
that
3,
you nailed
so-
that one. That was it. That was the next one. Kit Harington. Okay, this one might be easy. Joel, do the next one. No, after.
Daenerys.
Yeah.
Targaryen, Amelia Clark.
She was in Terminator.
Was she?
She was in one of the newer Terminators. Yeah.
I'm thinking more of a
Um,
box office flop in a very specific genre.
Yeah. Preferably it happens in December.
Oh, she's in that the Christmas one. She's in
Yeah.
Me Before You, and then she's in this
Ooh,
Christmas
Me
one
Before
that
You
just
was
came
good.
out, which was called like, is it a Christmas? Like
I'll
I don't
hum it
know.
for you.
That's
Last Christmas.
Yes.
Thank you.
That was good, you
I know. I'm working on my humming these days.
Okay.
Calm down, Matt. You're out of control.
Maisie Williams.
She was in a commercial for the Super Bowl.
Was
She was in an Audi commercial for
Oh,
the
she
Super
was.
Bowl,
Yeah.
singing "Let It Go." It was like they made it for me,
Yeah.
Hold up. Let it go like from
Let
like
It
from
Go.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe I didn't see.
So what
Yeah.
movie? She's gonna be in a new show where she's like a spy kid or like an
really?
assassin. She plays a fucking assassin again. That's what it is.
So I wouldn't have known this, but I just saw. I went and saw The Invisible Man in theater. So I saw this Marvel preview, and she's in the New Mutants. She's just like
Well, aren't they all in like the New Mutants? Like, isn't Kit Harington and
they're all
Richard
in
Madden are gonna
Marvel
be in the
universe.
Inhumans? They're
yeah,
gonna be the
yeah.
Inhumans.
And then Sophie's technically in the Marvel universe too with X-Men.
Yeah,
but
she's
I
the
don't think-
Phoenix.
Yeah.
She's like
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix.
gray,
yeah.
Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Right,
Who
Jean
it-
Grey? Grey jeans?
Who is she married to?
And that's the next one. So, oh yeah.
Joe Jonas.
Oh yeah, that's what we're
Bonus
gonna,
question.
we're gonna make up the
She-
questions next
She
time.
is allegedly pregnant, but it's not fully
Can
confirmed.
we get a confirmation, Sophie, please?
Well, Kathleen is in with Kevin, so I'm sure
Yeah.
we can
Yeah, I'll
find
call.
out. Yeah.
Great.
I'll make a call.
Do you see how serious her face was? I fucking hate her
I love-
anymore.
Nick Jonas, you could like go to Jersey and bump into Nick Jonas.
No, it's Kevin. Kevin lives in Jersey.
Oh yeah, sorry. Kevin
I was like,
Jonas.
where can I bump into Nick Jonas?
Yeah.
I'd like to
My
do
friend
that.
bumped into Nick Jonas on the streets in New York
on the
City.
streets. Well, of where?
Did she
New
get-
York
did she
City,
get a pic-
bitch.
Did she get a picture?
Yeah,
Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
yeah. But she has been to like 30 Jonas Brothers concerts. I went with her to this last Jonas Brothers concert, and I was like honored she chose me because she's a mega
You
fan.
should have invited me. I couldn't find anyone to go with.
It was amazing. I paid way too fucking much for that ticket, so I don't know
Well-
why I'm paying when I'm Kevin Jonas's girl. I don't
Yeah.
know why I'm paying.
I heard that
Sophie
they
was at the
Yeah,
show.
I
You could see
know.
her.
Oh my
from where we were sitting.
I love her. I
Me
really want to
too.
be her friend.
Me too.
Me too.
She likes to party.
Poor Danielle Jonas is such the third wheel with Priyanka and
Well, I mean, she's
Sophie.
married to Kevin. Like, what do
We
you, if
really-
you want to
Did you
be
see
the
the-
queen bee, you don't marry Kevin.
Did you see the What a Man Gotta Do music video?
Yeah.
And like they barely let Danielle in it at all.
Yeah. Can we talk about how amazing it
You
was?
gotta
Sophie
aim
and
bigger
Joe
in life.
doing like the fucking hand jive
I
from
know.
Greece. Like that was everything to me and more.
No, I just burped into
Gre-
the mic.
Greece.
What is happening around here?
Greece is a great flick. Someone needs to come on and talk about Greece.
I will talk about Greece. If you want to talk, if you ever want to talk about Dirty Dancing and you don't fucking invite me on the show, I'm gonna lose my mind.
When we turn to movies, you're in.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Your favorite episode of
Wait, did you
the
see
movie Dirty Dancing?
Did you see the movies that made us Dirty Dancing? I think they did one. for
Yeah,
Dirty
they did.
Dancing.
They did.
I only watched the Home Alone one, but I really liked it.
No, the Dirty Dancing one is good.
That's it. That's
Well,
all.
that-
Where,
That's all.
Where are you now? When I'm sending to the stereo, I'm writing you a symphony of sound. Really
Wow.
thought someone was gonna jump in.
Jack's mannequin.
just
I
dance.
thought about it, but I don't have a good singing voice.
Neither
so I was
do
just letting you
No,
kill
she
it.
crushed
But I know
it.
you're Kevin's girl. You know,
I
you're definitely
am.
getting like voice lessons.
What? So
over there.
out of me and Kevin, I'm the singer.
Yeah.
Like, because he can't sing. They turn his mic off.
Oh my gosh. Poor Kevin.
Right.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for today. Thank you, Brooke, for joining us.
You're so welcome. Thanks
Amazing
for having
episode.
Me.
Thank
Great
you.
episode to pick. Come back anytime. Thank you,
Great.
everyone, for listening, and have a great week.
Peace.
Bye.
This has been My Favorite Episode Of. My Favorite Episode Of is produced by Matt Kelly as part of the Geekscape Network and hosted by Julie and Kathleen. Check out our show notes for all of our socials and email us at myfavoriteepisodepodcast@gmail.com. Rate, review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting apps, and we'll be back next week with another episode of My Favorite Episode Of.
So
What the fuck
now
is
we're
this
getting
segment? What is
into
happening?
Where are they now?
where are they?
As
Wait,
living
that
through
was-
the
no,
stereo,
stop.
I'm
We gotta
writing you a
restart.
symphony of
All right,
sound.
ready?
I thought you were.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so flustered.
I thought you were gonna add it at the end. I've never heard it.
No, I
in-
like it in the beginning. All right, ready?
No. I mean when he's editing it. I thought he was gonna add it
Oh, I like this
in. Sure.
because we know when it's coming. Love it. All right. So now we're
Matt,
doing
play
this.
the clip.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network. You're listening to the Geekscape Network.